Okay, hello everybody, you are joining us now in year 2 with a new stream. You can see me up here in the top corner. Actually, I can wave, hello. So I'm actually adding myself into this so at least I can share my reactions to certain things. Now, before I start, this is obviously just after the crash, and all you've actually missed is him walking from here to here and saying, looks like a quiet night in Rubacava. And I'm not going to do the accent, so don't worry, I'll give up on the accent quite straight away. Now, before I start, from memory, year 2 is pretty much the longest section that there is in the game, because there's lots of things to do all in a large area. So it should take a little while. It might take a few sessions to get through, 1 or 2 maybe. Obviously I'm doing this from memory, so we'll have to see how we go, okay? So hope we enjoy it. Now we've got a director's commentary thing. Let's have a little listen and see what they've got to say for themselves.
And just the amount of research that went into all of this, because I just remember Tim going to every film noir movie ever, and we would just all the time there would be something to do, and he's like, "Want to go to the movies?" And it was just, I mean, you can see it, the dark shadows, and then the music. I mean, everything is just so film noir and really pulls you in.
Yeah, I remember us all going to see Casablanca, and I think it was in the Castro Theater or something. It was one of those old San Francisco theaters. I forget which one it was, but it was the whole gang of us went. And
yeah, remember? Did you guys go to the Golden Gate Fields for the horse races? I know they weren't.
I wish.
That was part of it, because I think there were some scenes around that, and that was just fun. I mean, just the research trips.
Yeah,
those were fun.
But either right, I mean, it's very film noir, isn't it? I mean, you just have to look at the whole background, the fact they're smoking, he's wearing the dinner jacket. Where are we? Here we go.
My wartime communications from Salvador. He's been sending me messages like this for the last year.
Agent Calavera, I have word that you arrived in Rubacava safely. This is great news, as your service to the LSA may now continue. I am pleased to report the successful hatching of the eggs you liberated. The hatchlings, which Eva has named Manny and Meche, are quite healthy and eager to serve our cause. With luck, my next letter will be borne to you across the sky by these young gossamer wings of truth. For the revolution, Salvador Limones.
I'm not done reading it yet, but maybe later. To sleep. Perchance to have nightmares about spiders and beavers.
Yeah.
When we leave the diner for the last time, there's a sort of a moment with just kind of a technical and sort of dramatic moment with the music where the music on the radio is playing, and there's going to be a little bit of a cut, and then you go to this cutscene music, which takes it's supposed to be sort of a seamless break from the game music to the cutscene music, and then the music kind of comes out of the radio, and doesn't sound like it's on a radio anymore. It's the music of people's dreams and wishes.
Excuse me, sorry, that was a cough. I needed to mute that for me. Have a look. What's over here?
Ah, Lady Luck.
Leader, Noir Monk, number 2.
So this is one of the parts in the game that was very inspired by Gilda. You ever seen Gilda? Rita Hayworth?
No.
It's a great noir movie. It's amazing, and it's the scene that you always see when they show Rita Hayworth, where she just flips her hair up and says, "Who, me?" So anyway, it's about it's set in a resort town where there's a casino, and the main character, there is the main character is working at a casino, and there is this kind of corrupt local law enforcement officer who shows up every night. And the way he gets paid off by the casino to not busted is that he always comes and bets on number 2 at a certain table, and then they always give him his money, and number 2 always wins and stuff. And so I think it's the same number in this game. We always use number 2.
Man, betting is closed. No more bets, please.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about this right now. There's one.
So Tim created a character, which I very much appreciate. I love her. Her name is Lupe, and she happens to be a little bit based on me and my idiosyncrasies. And so when I remember one time we were hanging out, and he told me, he's like, see, how can you tell me that I don't understand our relationship? Like, I can write about it. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he said, see, she's super organized. Nobody listens to her, but she has a lot of really important things to say. And see, we need her. And that's what you realize.
That's awesome.
So I was like, oh, I love you. And she does karate kicks. That was the best, like, because I like to punch people. And so if you notice, sometimes, I don't know if they have it in here, but she punches in the air. She does air punches.
That's awesome.
She was really easy to cast because I had such a great frame of reference for her.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see Lupe in a minute. She's downstairs, I think. I think that's it for now. And I'm walking in the spot, that's it. Okay, here we go.
I wish you would slide down the banister because we put a lot of effort into sliding down that banister. Come on, slide down the banister. I recommend any player who's in this room slide down the banister. It's much faster than walking.
Especially if you're 6 and you don't have terrible consequences when you hit the bottom.
You should not try that at home. Actually, kids, you should. You should go slide down the banister of your house right now.
Yeah. Not sure about that idea.
These are like scenes are from the production of the game in a way where Leslie would come to me like, look what I made. I made a chart of every single scene in the game, plus every single actor, and I coded it. Yellow means Manny's in it, and blue means this prop is in it. And she's so excited about these things that she did, and this character is doing the exact thing.
Yep.
You have to take things from your life and put them in your work, you know, even though they don't read anything to anybody else.
Well, that just means work will be about life rather than life being about work, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk to her.
Evening, Lupe.
Hi, Manny. I have to tell you about my new organizational system for the coats.
Ooh. Think she'll come in tonight?
Think she'll come in tonight?
Manny, you ask me that every night. What am I supposed to say?
You're supposed to say, yes, I think tonight's the night. Well, you could be a little bit more encouraging.
Well, you could be a little more encouraging.
I just hate seeing you get your expectations up every night like that.
I'm not giving up on her.
Hey, I don't want you to give up on Mercedes. Just have more realistic expectations, that's all.
Let's try it again.
Let's try that again, shall we? Think she'll come in tonight?
Could be, Manny. Just hang in there.
Thank you. It's my fault she's out in the woods alone, you know.
If you say so, Manny.
Sorry, violin, yep.
Bogan come in yet?
Yeah, he's down at the casino, probably enjoying his usual lucky streak.
How's the flow tonight?
We're dead tonight, Manny. Everybody's back home for the Day of the Dead, I guess. Except for the casino. The casino's hopping. Why is it that all the people who don't go home are the same people who just love to gamble?
Well, I guess when you've got nothing to go home to, you've got nothing to lose.
Hey, we should put that over the door.
Got nothing to go home to, you got nothing to lose. Yeah.
Everything okay back in the land of fur and fedoras?
Everything's in order. It's beautiful. I can't wait for people to come in and try the new system. It's so cool. Want to hear about it?
No. Okay.
Okay. Tell me all the details about your new code check system.
Yay! Okay, I found all these plastic tiles in the back, left over from the automat, and guess what? They all have numbers on them. So what I'm doing is, I give one to everyone who checks a code in and...
Not even paying attention.
Manny, you're not even listening to me. I go to all this work organizing your coats, and you don't even care.
Lupe.
Forget it. Don't pretend to care.
No, I want to hear.
Oh, I'll tell someone else about it. Someone who cares.
Please, yeah, go on. Now back to work. All right.
Please, tell me all about your new code check system, really.
Don't patronize me, Cal.
Okay, back to work.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe she's outside. Gotta love that oboe. I assume it's an oboe. Do 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 do. Ah.
Meche?
Manny, help me. I've been lost for so long. Why didn't you look for me?
I did. You ran off. Why?
Because you said I was no good. I've been all alone in the world for a whole year. And it's all because of you!
Ah! It's the Raven! The Raven is there. Was it a crow? I don't know. Huh? What? USS Lombarda. Quick, Manny, run! Run! Huh? Whoops.
This gonna be an annual thing with you, Manny? Every Day of the Dead, you toss your bones into the drink and I fish 'em out?
I don't plan to be around that long, Velasco. As soon as I find out where that ocean liner's going, I'm after it.
Ho ho! That ship's going to Puerto Zapato. That's the other side of the world. Ain't no ships going out that way but the old Limbo here, but...
But nothing. If the Limbo's my only hope, then I'm already on board.
Well, good luck, son. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
That's Kay Cuter, and Kay was, I don't know, late 70s, early 80s, and he had a big, long, gray beard.
Yeah.
And he was a raging smoker.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
you'd have to break him every 45 minutes,
Oh,
otherwise he'd start getting into a really bad mood. And on one of those sessions, we were doing. He plays the croupier later on, where he speaks French and English. And it's just he delivers the numbers. We were behind on time, and so I sort of pushed into an hour, and all of a sudden, I found myself in an argument with Kay over how to pronounce 20 in French.
Oh.
And so I was like, "It's definitely time for a smoke break on you. Get out of here."
Yeah, I was going to say, because that guy, well, no, this guy, right here, I'm looking at the camera to do this, he's a voice actor in Curse of Monkey Island. So if he was in his 70s and 80s, he must be dead by now, jeez. Well, maybe. I mean, who knows these days. Alright,
So I'm
ready to sail.
On what?
On the Limbo, man. Let's go.
Manny, the Limbo's not a passenger ship. She's small cargo, son. And every hand on board works.
I'll work.
I'll work.
What are your skills?
Sales and restaurant management.
Oh, hey, there is one opening on the Limbo's crew.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's in the engine room. And your buddy Glottis would be perfect for it. But he'd have to get his own tools.
Okay.
Okay, if I get Glottis some tools, can we board?
He can, yes. No offense, Manny, but there's just no place for you aboard the Limbo. She's fully manned already. In fact, her whole crew's on board, ready to sail at dawn. Except for that one guy.
Just that one guy, you know, just...
Who's the one guy who hasn't boarded yet?
Yeah, well, Seaman Naranja's a little late, but he'll be here before they sail.
What job did Naranja
What job
have?
Naranja have?
He ran the galley.
Aha! Restaurant management.
Yeah, it's similar to what you're doing now. Except the fish is fresher on the Limbo.
What if Naranja doesn't show up?
I can fill his spot, right?
Manny, you're not even in the Maritime Union.
I know that, and you know that, but we're two guys who can keep secrets, right?
Glottis is exempt, but the captain will ask for your card. And if you don't have one, they'll serve you to the sharks like chum. And what's worse, I'll get fined. That's a tough union, boy, and I don't mess with them.
Always about the money.
So let me get this straight. If I get Glottis some tools,
Then I can get him a job on the Limbo.
and if Seaman Naranja doesn't show up for work,
But he will,
and I get a Maritime Union card,
which you'll never get.
then I can sail on the Limbo in the morning.
Jeez. I guess so.
Okay.
What kind of tools does Glottis need?
Authentic CB equipment only.
Where do I get
Where do I get authentic CB equipment?
Why don't you ask a CB? Afraid of getting stung?
Where do you think Naranja is?
Probably home selecting recipes for the trip.
What's going on in that bottle? A tugboat?
This happens to be a perfect scale replica of the SS Lumbago. I'm just having a little trouble getting the walking beam to fit in the neck here.
That's funny, because a lumbago is usually more of a problem in the lower back than the neck.
Yeah,
Nothing. I better go finish packing.
Aye, you do that, son.
So there you go. There's the mission. Tools, Union card, get rid of Naranja. Okay? 3 things. Simple. Sounds simple. But it's long. So let's get a move on, shall we? Now, I've got to remember where things are.
There it is. Max's giant cat racetrack. How's a regular guy with 3 roulette tables supposed to compete with that?
Hey, you were the janitor. Ah, okay, so this is all the way out. And there we go.
To some extent, Grim Fandango is a bit of a mutt. It's got pieces of Jedi Knight, it's got pieces of Scum, it's got pieces of Outlaws, it's got pieces of, it's got IMUS coming in, and it's got the Lua language. So it was a game kind of made on a shoot, for all the technical challenges in it. A lot of pieces were sort of pre-existing, and kind of it was a matter of maybe a new era of game development where you don't write everything from scratch, but you kind of put it together in the best possible way.
Well, and one of the kind of the side effects of that was, since we had pretty robust solutions to video playback and rendering and art pipes in front of us, it really, a lot of the effort, aside from just making everything, all the blocking and tackling working, was spent in on how to making games like this convenient and producible and artist friendly. And you had built some tools that were really unlike the things that appeared in RenderDroid or Smush or some of the technologies it was built on. So it's a bit of a mutt in that we borrowed a bunch of really great technology, but there's also a lot of really innovative stuff.
See, that was the thing, back in those days, you built your own engine for the game. So this, they're gonna, like they kind of said, they sort of put all these bits together that they had from old Scum games, and they stuck it all together with, Jedi Knight, Outlaws, which Outlaws was kind of strange. A good game, but strange. Especially if you found the flying saucer.
I love how all the characters have very distinct voices that match their personality and their look. Like, how much would Tim give you direction, and how much was your direction influencing?
Well, like ideally, when you go through the process, you have character pictures along with the audition copy, and we would send that out to the various agencies, and the auditions would come back, and the process kind of does that for you, because you're listening to the auditions and you're looking at the picture, and you narrow it down to a handful of candidates, and then sort of we'd sit down with Tim and just go through them, and You know, that's, you know, sometimes there's only one choice, and you just know it.
Right. It's just so great.
Yeah.
All of them.
What you do is you cast for like the major characters, and then you use that same talent pool with a lot of the smaller characters. And so that's why Kay is, you know, he was cast for Velasco, but then the croupier just was one of those that's like, okay, well, that fits, he works.
So you let the actors pretty much kind of come up with their character as well when they look at the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, like for those secondary characters, they're totally undefined when you're in the studio, and so you just kind of sit there, look at the picture, look at the lines, talk about it, just set a dialogue voice in, and then go.
I just create. I love it. It's just creative everywhere, you know, like through the whole thing. Like not just with us, but even with the actors and stuff like that. And you really are like watching a movie.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Absolutely. And you really want that relationship between sort of the voiceover director and the actor to be collaborative and allow them the freedom to bring stuff to the table and try things, and you know, it just adds a lot.
He's right. I mean, characters are half the action, but also the voice. Ooh, hello. What was that? Ooh, this is always fiddly. I need to get in the right spot. Where was the spot? Ooh, hang on. There.
And so that guy, Toto Santos, which is the name of All Souls Day, that was one important casting thing that meant so much at the time. And I love The Usual Suspects.
Yes.
And there's a burn victim at the very beginning of the game, a guy who was burned on the ship.
Right.
Mm.
And he's in the bed, and he's the first guy who says, "Guys, they're so safe."
Okay, right.
Is this Hungarian or Polish?
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
And we got that actor to do Toto Santos' voice, because I was like, I want him to sound like that guy from Usual Suspects. And so if you listen to him, he's
That's
just
awesome.
like, I wanted to have him say, "Guys, they're so safe." You know?
Well, we got to talk to him now, haven't we? And oh, hello.
The one thing for a sound designer or for a composer, when the story is great and the writing is great and the pacing is great, whether it's a film or a game, you can't help but weigh in a successful way yourself, because there's this flow already and you're just participating with it and enhancing it. One of the jobs of a composer, especially in a game like this, a lot of time passes and you need to both entertain the listener and provide musical interest, but it has to also last for a very long time without being tiresome. And I think Pete did a great job at striking a balance between a great deal of musical interest, but also kind of hanging back and taking its time and letting the story unfold, letting the player concentrate on the game.
Okay. Then that's enough, don't you think?
Hola, Toro. ¿Cómo estás? Not now, Manny. I'm in the middle of something with Naranja here.
Aha, so that's Naranja.
It's a little cabinet. It's empty.
Yeah, I got to remember to get more liquid nitrogen from Morgue.
Liquid nitrogen?
Freeze the bones, less painful that way.
Hey, that sounds good. I could go for that.
You got plenty of painkiller in that bottle of yours, so shut up and hold still.
So that's the guy we've got to sort out. But we need a few things before that, so let's go have a look around. Can't go that way. Okay, that one then. Walk over here. Aha.
It's strange, the characters in this game don't like to go into crowded areas, almost as if it's too hard to render them.
I'm not sure what I hate more, crowds or cats, but I'm definitely not going near either one today.
Cat racing, huh? Meow. Oop.
Beloved Sandspoof, this regal and majestic feline was a record holder for speed and a favorite of the crowds here in Rubacava for many years, until her career was suddenly and tragically cut short on the second week of the racing season, when the airship Olivia 1, on its maiden voyage, crashed onto the track mid-race and exploded. Many bereaved fans testified later that before the blimp hit, Sandspoof was in the lead.
Oh.
Fuchi, that smell is peor que la muerte.
Yeah, look at the box. Just look at the size of the tins. It's huge. Okay, hang on. Actually, I think there's something I need in there. Yeah, there we are.
It says revolutionary design leaves can edges safe and smooth for Kitty.
Fun. And there goes Twitch. Damn my internet.
Do not pet the cats.
Hey! Looks like a great night for cat races.
Oop, what was that? Hang on. Damn it. There we go.
The cats racing. We were always so sad that we never showed the cat races, but that was for budget reasons. Obviously, we didn't want to cut the actual cats, but I wanted to have giant cats running on a track like that.
And the idea of a cat's racing being herdable enough to race is pretty. Why cats?
Why cats? There was a. God, I don't remember. Why cats? That's a good idea.
I mean, I just remember making the music going wow, wow, at some point because you're near the kitty litter.
Lane's madness.
Alright,
And it looks like old Scamper.
let's see what this guy is. Oh, hello.
But here comes a challenger.
I told you we don't have any kitty hats today.
What?
You have to wait until Tuesday. That's kitty hat day.
I don't want a kitty hat.
Fine with me. What's your bet then?
I don't gamble. It's a conflict of interest for me.
Then why did you call me down here?
For the friendly conversation.
How rude.
You know, there's all these background scripts that do things as you enter a room. It's like it's, you know, start all these scripts when you enter the room, like that do all these background actions. Then when you leave the room, it's just to stop all the scripts. And it was all, you know, left to chance because it, you know, left to programmer error. And there was one. So we were talking about this earlier. There's a script that runs the cat races, and it runs the announcer for the cat races, and it actually, true to Tim's attention to detail, he wanted it to actually simulate cat races, and
There
actually,
are actual cat races going on.
there are cats that are being raced, and the same name will show up, and you'll hear this cat getting ahead of the other one. I can just wrong.
Yeah, and the odds are real. The winnings are real. It is.
Yeah, Manny's wallet fills up. The cat races are running, and so it's in the background the announcer's running, and it's the simulation of these cat races being run. And yeah, they never killed that script, so you play the rest of the game from the cat scene, and the cat race simulator script is always running.
Yes, from the moment the cat races start to the end credits of the game, the cat race simulation is going on in the background.
There are still kitties racing today.
Yes.
Old Scamper. And then Pussy Poncho. Followed by
Oh, hi! Betting stub, please.
What?
I need the betting stub for the race you're interested in.
Interested in how?
And the rest didn't seem a photo finish file for, of course.
Oh, I don't have a betting stub.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Hairball Surprise. Old Scamper. Standing her ground.
Okay.
Old Scamper. Coming up on the finish.
Oh, I think I know. Oop, hang on.
How big were those when you drew them? like the posters and the murals and
We
stuff.
could actually work rather big.
Did you have Photoshop back then?
We had Photoshop, but I don't know if we had layers back then. Or
Oh, we had layers.
I think we did. Oh yeah, we had layers, but maybe
Paul
only.
just didn't know what they were.
No, but I think too. You only had one undo or maybe two undos.
Oh wow.
That's just insane. How would you cope with less than one?
Monsieur, but this is the elevator to the High Rollers Lounge.
That's where I'm going.
It is members only.
You must be new.
And you must have a VIP pass to come upstairs. Adieu.
Adieu.
Speaking of database, I mean, that was really how we accomplished so much, right? Is from an organizational standpoint of the music, of the sound effects, and of the voice. And I remember, especially for voice, how critical it was. And what we in the sound department would do is inherit and share the use of the database with the voice department. And you could do a search and isolate all the lines for, say, Manny, or isolate all the lines that needed to have reverb baked into them, or another type of processing. And then you would just divide and conquer and just master everything in groups and bring it all together, have a single reference for volume, and use the database to keep organized and isolate different found sets of different criteria.
Wow, Manny Calavera. You never come up here to see me anymore.
Well, I thought you could use the company with everybody gone for the Day of the Dead.
In that case, Manny, why don't you stick around until 6? That's when I get off.
Sounds good to me.
A lot of paperwork.
Lot of passengers. Everybody's back home but you and me.
Right, there was a thing there. Where has that gone? There we go.
Her character's a little bit inspired by, I think it's Big Sleep too, where Bogart is hiding from someone. He needs to hide in a bookstore.
Right.
And he goes in there, and there's a woman in there, and she's really into him.
Chip of Ben-Hur 1863 edition, the one with the errata on page 47 or something.
Wow, that is a memory you have.
Well.
And it's just really, he looks at her, and he's like, she seems like she's really attracted to him, if I remember correctly. And he like takes off her glasses and is like, yeah, okay. Like it was really kind of messed up scene, but
well, it's that that was the subtext of the noir film.
And then he pulls the shades.
Hanky panky.
Yeah, the hanky panky. Yeah, they lock the door and pull down the shades, and that's a little bit what this scene is all a reference to or inspired by.
Because she's telling him her story.
Yeah, that happens later.
This is Pamela Siegel, who plays Bobby on King of the Hill. She's quite a character. She's a minivan with flames on the side and a skull on the front where it replaces, I don't know what brand it is, but let's say it's Chrysler or somebody, and so instead of the Chrysler logo, there's a skull and crossbones. She's pretty funny.
Did she just do this as one big long...
Yeah, all one take, so she could build and build.
Yeah.
And, let it sort of ebb and flow.
And obviously Pete's quotation of home, there's no place like home, is something we all admired in Carl Stalling, who did a lot of the composition for the Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes cartoons. And anytime, as you may know, that a chicken comes on screen or something, it'll play Turkey in the Straw or various public domain songs that were relevant to the subject of the moment. So she was reminiscing about home, and Pete strikes up.
That's really cool.
There's no place like home.
Busy night?
Hardly. Everybody's gone home for the holiday already. This place is dead, and I'm bored, Manny. Bored.
What's the shuttle waiting for?
Oh, they're just cleaning it, but they're very thorough. We run a tight ship here, you know.
Can I try out your metal detector?
What's your sudden interest in metal detectors, Manny?
Just want to borrow it for a secret project?
I just want to borrow it for a secret project.
Well, I'll show it to you when I'm on break. How's that?
When's your break?
Dawn.
Oh, that's too late. I'm shipping out tonight.
Yeah, right. I've fallen for that line too many times.
I think it's time for your break. We could slip in the back for a little drink. You can tell me all about your job, the danger, the metal detectors.
That back room's all business, Manny. And so am I.
What kind of business goes on back there, Carla?
Hey.
Strip searches. And you don't qualify.
Nah.
Why don't I qualify for a strip search?
Manny, I agree it would help pass the time, but we have procedures and rules here. And you never know when they're watching. I can only strip search people when a regular search turns up nothing.
Hey,
okay.
It's worth a try.
Ooh, I love this part. Sir, if you will, please place all of your belongings on the security desk.
No, it's not many belongings. Ah.
Oh, you're clean.
Why so disappointed?
Rats, Manny, I almost got to strip search you.
Okay. I'll be back. Ooh, okay. One more.
I'm a strong believer in things that should be, when you're making stuff, it should be something that could only been made by you or in that group of people, and at the time you made it in the place you made it.
Yes.
You know? I think Grim is definitely that case. Like, that's one of the great things about Grim. I think it's a collection of amazing artists like you and the visual artists and the programmers and the actors, and everything that came together for that game was just such a was almost an overwhelming distraction of amazing artists coming together. Like oh my God, look at that background. Oh my God, listen to this music. Oh my God, listen to that voice. So I just I think it makes that game really special. But it also has a lot of personal details that are just kind of woven into it that makes it so, like, even if we were making this game from scratch with the same intentions today, it would just be completely different.
Makes sense. I don't need to look at the blimp. There's something important in the blimp. What's that guy? Music company Sinister? Ooh.
I don't know why there's so much union jokery in games that I've worked on. I've always found it, maybe because it was a big part of, like, movies that air, like, on the waterfront. You know, and not so much unions, but mobster corrupt unions.
Right.
There's always a big part of that, you know, going on. And then also, like, worker, anti-worker, communist themes going on. Like, it was all tied together. And I don't know if that all sprung out of On the Waterfront or other movies.
Well, On the Waterfront, though, was kind of, I mean, it was sort of championing the plight of the working man, but it also was talking about the dark side of the.
Oops.
I remember at the time it was a big debate, like, should we require P100 or P133, like penny 100, penny 133? It's like, nope, your target platform is whatever was on sale at CompUSA for $500 last year.
It's like a P70.
Yeah, it's like, you know, P60 I think is what we ended up with as a bit. In fact, we ended up going for P90 at the end, but it was one of the things where it's like those kind of constraints where it's like you really could pull it off with all the kinds of machines we had in the company, but the average consumer who we wanted to sell the game to did not have a machine like that. So that's one of the vagaries of the PC market that still persists, you know.
Yeah, and you wouldn't, you know, when you think about Grim, you wouldn't necessarily think, but there's like all hand-coded assembly rasterizers in here. There's hand-coded assembly blitters in here. Lots of like layout asset management. All, you know, this was a tricky game to optimize and to get running acceptably on the kind of machines that people were going to be running it on. But it doesn't, you know, it doesn't come off like the same technical challenge as a Jedi Knight or something like that. And it wasn't. I mean,
it's different kind of technical challenge, much more kind of interdisciplinary.
It was really getting all this weird stuff happening at the same time.
Yeah, a Pentium 100, and so I think we're on, you know, 2 point something gigs. Well, that's just an example. All this then.
What a horrible jail cell. Then again, you sure taught Glottis a lesson that time. Reward offered for cargo stolen from shipyard receiving area, including a large suitcase bearing the initials HL.
Remember one time showing Pete something, he said, well, I don't like it, but I don't know why. And which is the most helpful criticism that you can ever get, because you don't know how to fix the thing. But I'm being facetious.
So yeah, lots of commentary. So once we're through it, we'll get on with the puzzles.